esteemed speakers, respected delegates, and all participants. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the valedictory ceremony of the two-day International Multidisciplinary Conference on Artificial Intelligence and Natural Intelligence for Creating a Better World, organized by the FIMT School of Law in collaboration with IQAC. We are gathered here today, both in person and virtually, to celebrate the knowledge shared and the enriching discussions that have taken place over the past 2 days.
Professor Dr. Anuj Kumar Vaksha, Professor of Law, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, Delhi. Professor Saroj Vyas, Director of the FIMT College, Kapashera, Delhi. Professor Dr. Shavita Gagneja, Director, School of Law, FIMT College, New Delhi. My dear colleagues, I can't take the name of all of them, and very, very dear students. When we welcome, it's a feeling. And I have a lot of love for the Constitution of India. And I don't find there is any other most lovable thing in this country than the Constitution of India. And the wise people who contributed towards its formulation, they were all with sincerity and a vision for the largest democracy of the world. They had the vision. I believe they had the reflection of Himalaya at that time that it's on our side. And they had in the mind the width of the oceans almost on the three sides of the country. And having all that in mind, they had all the rivers right from Indus, 5 rivers of Punjab, Satluj, Beas, Chenab, Ravi, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Jamna, then on that side Kaveri. I think they had all that in mind. And they had very rich granary and greenery. Granary is for food, grain which we eat. And greenery is for health. I think they had all it in the mind. And then whenever I open the book, Constitution, and read its preamble, I never forget this ambience. And then the top of it is the we the people of India. I am saying this all because of a reason. Because it may be any individual, it may be any institution, it may be any nation. When you go across in the history, you are faced with challenges of different levels. And we have had them. We had the challenges at the defense level. We had the challenges at the social level as transformation has been taking place. We had the challenges to have the new legislations, new jurisprudence. And if I cut all that short and come to early 90s, the last decade of the 20th century, it put the challenge of globalization and technology in front of this great nation, the people of this country. And that's how, when I was explaining the welcome, why welcome? Because it should create a feeling. It is opening the space in your heart and mind for another person. And if you have to really understand that, please read in the Constitution the concept of fraternity. Why fraternity is written there. And fraternity is the last. If everything, justice, equality, liberty does not result into fraternity, it's not attaining its actual goal. So, whenever you welcome must be that I am doing it with a spirit of fraternity. In the constitution of the country, which was drafted by all those wise people, in the ambience of a nation which is best in the country, which is best in the world. So, with the same spirit, I welcome all the students to this valedictory function. You are our future, you are our strength, and it is you who will be tomorrow there, steering, monitoring, advancing, and progressing. I once asked the earlier Attorney General for India, Shri Soli Sorabji, when he was celebrating the 70th birthday, and he had won in ICJ the case of that aircraft which had fallen in the territory of Pakistan. I asked him, Soli, taking the liberty, Soli, what did you want actually to become? You came to Delhi, you worked for Keshwananda Bharati, and then you developed such a good corpus of human rights jurisprudence. What did you actually want to become? He said, I wanted to become an engine driver. So in Mumbai, they were very much fan of becoming the engine drivers. The thing is to drive one's own self, to drive a car, to drive a train or a tram, or a metro, or a plane. It is driving. So, why I refer to all this, you understand, you are very wise. That spirit of being in the driver's seat, you have to develop. I shall sit in the driver's seat. And what is the challenge today to the nation is? The challenge which somebody posed to the whole of the world in the form of artificial intelligence. I can do it, I can make it, I can make things happen in your home, even if I am not there. And that also not only a mechanical performance, but also a thinking artificial mind I can put in your home also. And then that can affect your every system of governance, your system of defense, your system of policing, your system of mischiefs, and also it will strengthen the world which is not visible, that's the underworld. That also I can see. Now this is a big challenge in front of you. But very, very dear students, you have to keep in mind, I have an innate strength, and that's my natural intelligence. The artificial intelligence is there, but I shall not let my natural intelligence fail. I shall use it, and I shall use it to the extent that I can regulate the use of artificial intelligence. I shall not allow it to go out of the hands. And when it is used, as I was saying yesterday, if it is used against me, I shall defend myself. I shall, along with the best of the technologists of the country, develop the legal system as well as the technology system. We can protect ourselves. And then we can make the best use of it in terms of giving a best governance system, justice system, policing system, and like that. So, having all that in mind, I open the space for you. And you are the heart and mind of FIMT. And you are the true wealth of the FIMT. I therefore welcome you with all this perception. I am welcoming you to that conceptual level. Take it, imbibe that spirit. That should never allow you to remain on rest or be sleepy. You must always like to have the challenges and then be very proactive about the things. And that's how you make this college a pride that way. Second, we have the best of the faculty available. I hope they will keep teaching their subjects, but at the same time, they will also try to develop the spirit amongst the students, spirit of self-learning, spirit of inquisitiveness, spirit of search, spirit of formulation, spirit of projection, and then love for their own person, families, and the nation itself. And then this time, I am really thrilled to have one of my old friends. He is not old, but our friendship is old. He is Professor Dr. Anuj Kumar Vaksha. He is a very wonderful person. He has studied law, Jamia Islamia, and then he served in ICRC, International Committee for Red Cross, and I always, take her as an avatar. Who was the lady? Who gave this, ICRC, this kind of, who was treating those war, Henry Dunant, and the lady was also there. So the question is that spirit of serving, even in situation of war, is something great. We are in no less in a war, though bloodless. It is bloodless, but it is war. So I'll tell you the name. I don't know why. She is unlucky. I'm not remembering her name. Nightingale. What is your name? Nightingale. No, but Pehla is Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale. She was finding those wounded bodies here and there and there. So, see, your mind is free. Make your mind free. You can take examples and enrich your spirit. So, I am thinking if I find somebody was deceived by using artificial intelligence, he's a wounded person. He is in war. He's a defeated person. He's a destroyed person. Why should artificial intelligence be allowed to use it in such a negative way? that it can destruction even to a single individual, and that also in this country. And when all these legal eagles of FIMT are in this country, how can it happen? Why we cannot teach them the lessons? And that's what I am saying. Professor Dr. Anuj Kumar Vaksha, he has worked with ICRC, International Committee of Red Cross, and he has been a very good teacher of law, and he has been a very good manager of the events also. So, I feel that I should welcome him to this program as the most genuine person, with a very, very thunderous applause from all of us present here. So, he has advised Vice Chancellors also many times, Deans also, and so many other people. So that's how that spirit of Florence Nightingale, that was the age of ignorance, and that was the age of arrogance, if I call it, when wars were taking place. Today is the age of artificial intelligence. We should not use artificial intelligence in an arrogant way. We should not use this in such a way that most of the people will get deceived by all this. So, I again welcome him with open heart, with the same spirit of fraternity as found in the Constitution of India. I am closing it, but I am saying the spirit of welcoming and finding it in fraternity is a panacea. I tell to anybody that if you want to eliminate the vices in this country, excesses by a man upon a woman, please look to the spirit of fraternity. Anyone is your mother under the spirit of fraternity. Anyone is your sister under the spirit of fraternity. Anyone is your daughter under the spirit of fraternity. And anyone is everything to you, and that's why you use the artificial intelligence with the spirit of fraternity for the benefit of others, and then if you are a lawyer, for the protection of others. I think I should also welcome to the function our Director, Professor Dr. Saroj Vyas. She is not an old lady, but she is an old director, very experienced director. And I missed only one thing from her in my life. That was I could not attend the reception of her son. Incidentally, I forgot it on that day, and I still feel, and I request her someday give a special feast to me so that I will feel good about it. And then we have Professor Dr. Shavita Gagneja ma'am. So I welcome her on her behalf, because the conference belongs to her. So I welcome her to her conference's valedictory session. So, and then another ma'am, I'm forgetting the name, Dr. Sonia is there. So to make it a little bit lighter and I like these words Sonia and Sona, because that is the precious of all the things. So yeah, we should possess it, and we are grateful to her, and we welcome her to the session. And then we have online with us Miss Kushani from Nepal, from the Sri Lanka, and Bhavna, and from Mauritius. They are welcome to this valedictory session of the conference.
And Dr. Mary.
Dr. Mary is also there.
From Georgia.
Yes, I was remembering from Georgia, she is there. So this is truly an international conference, and I would say to all you three that India is with all open arms to welcome any of the scholars to contribute, and if anything is for which India should be proud is scholarship. We have always projected and promoted scholarship. So you can someday travel and also be offline with us. And with these words, I again thank you all. And then I should not forget to thank myself also. I convinced myself today to come to the college. And I succeeded in convincing myself. And then also, I took a different line of giving the welcome. But please make it sure it's in my heart always that there is a value above all which you project in the form of Vasudev Kutukam, that has no meaning if it does not carry the constitutional spirit of fraternity, and if welcome is not said with that spirit of fraternity. Thank you so much.
Right? It is very important that we make few remarks, which is very important. So, since artificial intelligence started to concentrate on applying machine learning to large volumes of data, there has been a notable advancement in the field. Machine learning systems, they identify patterns in data, they create models that connect potential inputs to likely accurate outputs. So artificial intelligence systems, they are trained on large data set of example before being used in machine learning application. Now, consequently, AI has developed a voracious appetite for data, which in turn has fueled data collecting in a vicious cycle. The development of machine learning-based AI systems, they promote the creation of massive data set or big data. So the advancement of science, technology, the economy and society, we can all gain greatly from the combination of AI and big data. But at the same time, this adds to concern that affect people individually and as a collective, including polarization and fragmentation in public spaces, ubiquitous surveillance and impact on citizen behavior. Now, if we have to connect AI and personal data, so numerous AI applications, we all know about it, they handle personal information. So on one hand, personal information may be added to the data set that the machine learning system utilizes for training, creating their algorithmic models. However, these models, they can also be used to analyze personal data and draw conclusions about specific people. So artificial intelligence.
Good afternoon, Srivanee Bhardwaj sir, Chairman FIMT Group of Institutions in absentia, Dr. Nalini Joshi ma'am, Executive Director FIMT in absentia, Professor Dr. M. Afzal Wani sir, Advisor FIMT, Professor Dr. Anuj Vaksha sir, USLLS GGSIPU, Professor Mary Lau Frank, University of Georgia, Dr. Kushani De Silva, Subject Matter Expert, CRDF Global, CEO, Gloir.K, Sri Lanka, Ms. Bhavna Mahadew, University of Mauritius, Professor Dr. Saroj Vyas ma'am, Director FIMT, Professor Dr. Shavita Garveja ma'am, Chief Organizer and Director School of Law, and everyone present here. As we stand at the crossroads of innovation and responsibility, AI has proven to be a transformative force, shaping the way we teach, govern, administer justice, ensure security, and drive sustainable development. Our first international conference was designed to explore these intersections, bridging the gap between technologies, progress, and human wisdom. During the course of this two-day international conference, we have witnessed remarkable insights from researchers and experts and practitioners who have enlightened us on the various subthemes, including the role of AI in shaping legal pedagogy and governance, AI's impact on human rights advocacy, the use of AI in cybersecurity and digital protection, AI's ability to monitor and mitigate climate change, AI-driven efforts in promoting gender equality, cultural convergence, and humanitarian aid. With 60 research papers presented by scholars, practitioners, and academicians from across the globe, our discussion have provided invaluable perspectives on how AI and revolutionizing multiple sectors. Our 3 technical sessions, 2 held virtually and 1 in physical mode, facilitated deep dives into the most pressing concerns and opportunities of AI integration. On the first day of the conference, 40 papers were presented across 2 technical sessions, chaired by Professor Dr. M. Afzal Wani sir and Director School of Law, Shavita Lagneja ma'am. The session focused on the transformative impact of AI in the legal domain, covering the key discussions on AI's role in revolutionizing legal education in India. Technical session 2, held in virtual mode on the sub-theme, Artificial Intelligence for Societal and Global Transformation. It was chaired by Dr. Kushani De Silva, Subject Matter Expert, CRDF Global, CEO, Gloir.K, Srilanka, and Ms. Swati Pandita, Member Research Cell, covering the key discussions on AI's role in optimizing agriculture, energy consumption, urban planning, AI's powered climate change mitigation strategies, AI waste reduction, and smart decision-making frameworks for environmental sustainability. Our technical session 3, which was held today, in the virtual mode, it focused on the sub-theme AI in Governance, Security and Justice, chaired by Ms. Bhavna, Mahadew, University of Mauritius, and Dr. Gururaj, Nirma University, on the theme Governance, Security and Justice, leveraging AI for cyber threat detection and risk mitigation. Through these rich deliberations, we have reaffirmed that AI is not about the algorithms and automations, it is also about harnessing intelligence, both artificial and natural, to create a better world. The insights we have gained in the last 2 days should serve as a foundation for continued collaboration. Let us lead this conference with renewed determination to integrate AI in ways that uphold human values, promote inclusivity, and drive progress for all. Thank you once again for the invaluable contributions. I look forward to the future discussions and collaborations as we continue to shape a better world. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, those kind of glitches happen in every country, in every corner of the world, and that is why we need we need natural intelligence. So when computers and issues arise, we have people that can work on it. Well, I am so humbled to be here today, and I have a few words to share with everyone. I want to especially commend the speakers that have gone before me yesterday and today. What an impressive group of individuals there are, and I can't be more impressed to get a chance to join them. Let me see if I can. I'm having difficulty sharing the screen. I'm not sure why. Well, there seems to be an issue right now in sharing the screen, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk through it with you. The first thing I also wanted to do was to acknowledge Professor Dr. Jenda, who was so kind, and all of the organizers to put together a conference that is so important and so timely. This is something we all need to be discussing. And the fact that you put this together through the Fairfield Institute of Management and Technology really speaks to your leadership in the field. So we all know about AI. We read about it, it's in our phones, it's in our computers. Many of us use it at our work and with our research. And yet we're still learning a lot about how it works and what the issues might be with it. It has tremendous, incredible potential, there also are ethical issues and questions. about how we can use it best. Now, my frame of reference is that I'm a psychologist. I also work as a mediator and do a tremendous amount of mediation training and teaching at a lot of different universities in the world. So I get a chance to see how AI is integrating in several different disciplines. But my approach mainly comes as a psychologist in saying, how is it going to integrate with humans? And that really is at the heart of your conference. Artificial intelligence, we know from all the speakers you've listened to, has many strengths. Certainly data-driven learning and to be able to learn patterns and make decisions and make projections and to speed up our processing of different kinds of analysis and handling large volumes of data, and without individuals becoming fatigued and error coming into that process. Systems can be designed in really specialized ways, and there's a lot of that specialization that's going on now in terms of language translation and image recognition and all of the different things that I know that your speakers have talked about that make it even more vibrant and more important for us to consider. But natural intelligence has strengths too. And I was glad to hear some of the speakers that preceded me speak about that's importance. It's important in terms of adaptability, so we can adapt in unfamiliar and dynamic environments. And we as individuals bring that with us naturally. Our whole ability to deal with emotion and intuition, what's important in the fields that I work with all the time, is critical. Both in decision-making and natural intelligence, where we can involve emotions and intuitive judgments, and that we can be certainly aware of and informed by past experiences and past decisions that we've made. But it's important in terms of our generalization, because we can transfer knowledge across domains and different fields, applying insights from one context that may be very complex to another, and still bring that insight, which is so important. The issue seems to be, and I think you captured it well in this incredible program that you put together, certainly how we use AI, but its integration with natural intelligence. Wilder in Forbes magazine just this September said, it's not the technology of AI, but the inadequacy of our natural intelligence in guiding AI toward outcomes that truly benefit society. And I think that captures a lot of what you all have been trying to put together these last 2 days. Natural intelligence isn't just about cognitive ability. Wilder goes on to say it's about understanding the bigger picture. It's about empathy, it's about ethical decision-making, and it's about navigating the complex social landscapes that technology alone has not, at least yet, been able to address. For the future, we need to consider issues of equity, issues of justice, and issues of sustainability. AI can help AI become a tool for positive social change. However, we know that AI could perpetuate the inequities that other technology has facilitated for years. So we need to be wise about that and cognizant of the fact that we need to overcome some of the barriers that we've put to that other technologies have limited us by. We need to move away from self-regulation to a global model. The current regulatory environment for AI is fragmented and voluntary, and so therefore we have gaps in accountability. We can use natural intelligence to help protect human rights, and ensure that AI continues into the future of serving the public good. If we can only keep our focus on the impact AI has, its continued efficacy, the importance of equality, ethics, and the overall outcomes, the future for all of us is endless. And what I want to commend you for is coming together in this conference. This is an excellent start. And what we need to do is continue this dialogue. We need to exchange ideas and honor the different perspectives that each person brings, and certainly within your country of India, but also internationally. We need to explore collaborative and multidisciplinary projects and reach out between disciplines and for other national and international connections. And most importantly, we must continue to involve students in the process, because it would be easy to forget the importance that they bring, because they are the future for every single one of us. We need to remember that as academics, as scientists, as partners in business, your discourse, your ability to value other ideas, and your ability to work across disciplines is going to make the difference. This conference began that process. And what's important now is that we go forward together, and that we take the knowledge that we have and don't let it become stagnant, but let us guide us together for a better future. I am humbled to have offered these few words to you today, and I wish you all the very best for your future. Thank you so very much.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste and Aiburan. It had been a great pleasure and a privilege to be a part of this international conference. I have been a part of this conference since yesterday, and I have been listening to wonderful sessions on use of AI in different sectors: agriculture, climate change, supply chain, health sector, etc. And I was thinking that, yes, we've talked a lot about the usefulness of AI, but we also need to highlight, as all the other speakers also highlighted, how best we can use AI together with our human intelligence. So on that basis, I have prepared a small presentation for you to highlight how we can use AI within ethical limits to make use of it without misusing it. So let me share the screen now. Can you see my screen? Great. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about dual use of AI, a greater threat than a nukes. Nukes, in simple terms, is nuclear weapons. If you don't use AI and if you let AI people to misuse AI, what will happen cannot be assessed. It will be definitely more than a nuclear disaster. I will give you evidence why I'm saying so. So this session will focus on 3 objectives. I will definitely tell you how valuable AI in terms of its capacity and how energy consumed this AI business, and how to what extent human error could be experienced when we use AI tools. And then we will explore, okay, is AI that dangerous the way that I mentioned? It's not only me actually. If you listen to the latest interviews of AI giants in the world, they all have, including the godfather of AI, they all have highlighted the danger of AI if we don't use it within ethical limits. So third aspect that we're going to discuss during this speech is that we're going to share some recommendations for the peaceful use of AI without misusing it. In terms of AI capabilities, there are four capabilities that we have to think about. First one is this weak AI capability, which can recognize voices, images, things like that. And there is general AI, which helps autonomous consciousness, which means like it's similar to what we do in day-to-day life, like a human brain, it can function. But it is not a thinker. General AI is not a thinker. But when it comes to AI in strict sense, it influences your human behavior. It influences on your learning abilities, reasoning abilities, and judgment. Strong AI. This is the danger man or the woman. It is a thinker, problem solver, complex problem solver, and it's learning quickly through experience. But remember, AI cannot learn from mistakes. AI cannot learn from errors. It's only human intelligence. It's only us can learn from errors. On the other hand, when we use AI, we have to be responsible. Definitely, we have to be responsible. We have no choice. Why? Because it's highly energy demanding job. For example, if you remember in 1996, there was this very first video games introduced like Mahadew.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So, to make a small correction, when Wani Sahib is here on the dais, nobody else has the competence or the privilege to give a special conference address. So, I take Wani Sahib's address in the beginning to be the only and only special conference address. Whatever I give here and state here, that would be supplemental to what Professor Wani has said and what other colleagues from beyond India they have stated. But in any case, thank you so much for inviting me here. I am indeed humbled by this invitation. Thanks to Bhardwaj Sahab, for whom I have great respect, and thanks to the organizing committee who invited me here. So to begin with, there are some thoughts which I have just scribbled here. I shall say that, but to begin with basic preliminary kinds of greetings, I must say very respectfully acknowledge Professor M. Afzal Wani sir, who has been our support system, our guru at Guru Gobind Singh University, Madam Saroj Vyas, Madam Savita Madam, and other esteemed teachers and dear students sitting here in the hall, along with the participants from other jurisdictions than India. This topic, the name as it goes, artificial intelligence, integration of artificial intelligence and natural intelligence. I understand that they are already integrated. Artificial intelligence comes out of the natural intelligence, okay? But the issue is that this artificial intelligence which comes out of the natural intelligence is now almost is said to act like the Bhasmasur, who after receiving benediction from Lord Shiva seems to be threatening Lord Shiva himself for his existence. So what my previous speaker just said out, the worthy speaker from Srilanka, she very meticulously has highlighted the kinds of threat which we are set to face in this era of artificial intelligence. Although the natural intelligence which is possessed by we the mankind and such other living creatures, out of this we the mankind being the most intelligent ones have created what is called artificial intelligence, but that now poses a number of complications. Now, whether it is natural intelligence or whether it is artificial intelligence, what is common is the intelligence itself. So what do we mean by intelligence? That is one thing that we will be exploring. And very interestingly, the title says, for creating a better world. Why shouldn't we work to create a bad world or a worse world or an evolution world? Is there an answer to this? That why should we actually work only for a better world? yes, there is an answer as to why we should be working for a better world. The answer is that we, the human beings, are not the beings who are demons. We are not the beings who are devils. We are the proud creations of the God who have been bestowed with ability, biological ability of intelligence, but that is not the only thing that we are. We also have the aspiration for creating a better world, and possibly the best world if ever it can be created. Until the time we can create the best world, the most livable world, the most inclusive world for everybody, we are, with our all kinds of limitations, etc., we are aspiring to create a better world. And in that creation of the better world, of course, till now we have been striving with our God-embodied or God-given natural intelligence, with which almost everybody is sitting here, and every single human being born is endowed with. But our capability to do good things through this through this natural intelligence was possibly limited. And so to enhance our capability in doing it better, we ventured upon to create a set of artificial intelligence which should be working with us to make this world better than what it is. So when we say making this world better, in a lawful framework, in a legal framework, we are students of law, so I am trying to connect within the framework of law, what are the say landmarks, or what are the key points that should be taken note when we are making an argument that artificial intelligence and natural intelligence must be integrated for a better world. What are those things? I looked at the definition of intelligence as to what does it mean. Simple English dictionary definition of intelligence. And it says ability to understand, learn and think. Intelligence is the ability to learn, to understand and to think. In more colloquial terms, intelligence means ability to do certain things in a more efficient way, in a more effective way. So from efficient and effective, that is what intelligence is all about. We as the human beings are trying to work towards more, to do something more effectively, more efficiently. The artificial intelligence also joins us, our creature, to create things in a better, in a more effective way, more efficiently. But this efficient working and effective working is not sufficient, not adequate for the kinds of aspirations that we, the human beings, do possess. We are rather aspiring to have a world which is not only good in terms of doing the work more effectively, more efficiently, rather there are some more things which are required. Required, number one, very first, that all of us do aspire for those things. And number two, these aspirations will together endeavor to make this world better. And so if this formulation works better, it would be like our future generations would have the honor, the privilege to live in a better world than what we are, as possibly we are among those privileged kinds of people, citizens, or say generations, who are living in a world which is far more comfortable, far more convenient, far more say meaningful than possibly our previous generations may have lived. Although they were also human beings, we are also human beings. They were as much possessed of aspirations of making good world, making better world, as possibly we would be, and our future generations will also look for this. But the question is all about making this world better in terms of all those things that we aspire. So what are those key aspects that we would aspire for within the framework of law than merely applying our intelligence to make this, to do our work in a more effective way and a more efficient way. As a student of law, some of us and most of us would have natural law school. And within the framework of natural law school, one word which is most often used, non-arbitrariness, non-whimsical nature, misuse of power, abuse of power. We want a world where any kind of arbitrary activity should not be there. We want a world where any kind of whimsical things should not be there. We want a world where there should not be any abuse of power, any misuse of power. Now this we gather from natural law school thinking and also aspirational. Rather, in one of the classes I asked that what is justice? Justice is one word which is so difficult to define that there is not even a single literature as on date which can fully describe what the justice is. But the beauty of justice is that every single human being born and possibly every creature born here aspires for justice. So however complex the idea of justice might be, every single person, rather the person accused of most heinous crime, आप उससे भी पूछे what do you want, they will say I want to be treated justly. I want my case to be tried very justly. Justice is one such aspiration, most aspirational. And a part of that justice is how to avoid misuse of power, how to avoid abuse of power, how to avoid arbitrariness, how to avoid whimsical things, etc., etc., etc. So integration of artificial intelligence and the natural intelligence must be such that these things should be curtailed. Whether we do it as a legal framework, in a legal framework, or a behavioral framework, or some kind of custom, tradition, usage, that is a secondary thing, that it must be done. That is the one aspect. Then whatever work we are doing, we want that to be done equitably. So equity is another great, valuable, aspirational thing. How do we do it equitably? If the world would have been an equitable place, we would have called ourselves to be living in an admirably wonderful world. But still we are far from that, say, ideal equitable world. And so there is persistent endeavor towards creating a more equitable world. How do we create more equitable world? It's a very, very, very complex process. Can the artificial intelligence, when integrated with human intelligence, where we are creating these kinds of aspirations, there is a hope that it can be a more equitable process, it can be a more equitable world, and maybe if this integration process goes well, our future generations will live in a more equitable world than what we are living in. This is not the only thing. We further want that let every human being live with fullest of the full human dignity and honor. Let everyone live in a society where nobody feels aggrieved of his or her dignity being hampered. How do we ensure that every single human being, every single organism, I would say, every single living being, I would say, not only human beings, so even other creatures who are not human beings, even they should have this honor to live with full human dignity. How do we get that from? Again, we have to explore the means and methods available in the domain of, integrated domain of artificial intelligence and natural intelligence to create a world which can be more, say, preserve or enhance and assure the human dignity. And then now there is not only human dignity, we are also looking forward where the material needs of every single human being must be fulfilled. Not only aspirational things, not only the dignity of the human life, but even the material needs of the mankind, that should be available to every single human being who may be there. Then there we talk of what is called inclusive development or inclusivity or redistributive justice. Phrases may be of so many kinds, but together we are looking for a more inclusive society or more inclusive developmental process where the fruits of human advancement, the fruits of human development can be made available to the widest of the wide human beings, be it in any part of the world, that should be there. So that's another key objective that would be aspiring for in this integration process of natural intelligence and artificial intelligence in our endeavor towards creating a better world. The next is sustainability, or often this word became popular with the phrase called sustainable development. Almost all of us know what is the reference point for this sustainable development. It connotes what is called intergenerational justice. It connotes what is called preserving the environment. It connotes what is called maintaining the natural character of the natural resources, not only for our own self, but for the future generations. Again, the AI and the human intelligence has to work towards creating a more sustainable environmental framework, developmental framework, and more sustainable framework for all of us, every single human being born on this earth. And so we talk of preservation of environment, conservation of natural resources, so on and so forth. Now everything that we are talking of, that we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this, for creating a better better world. How do we create that better world? Who will take the initiative? What kinds of systems, what kinds of processes should be there? Besides the integrated point of natural intelligence and the artificial intelligence, then there the role of the institutions or the processes of the society come into play. Those institutions are created almost as the trend as it is. Every nation has one or other kind of constitutional framework, something which Professor Wani was talking about in the beginning, that whatsoever we think, whatsoever we do, we have to keep in mind the lofty ideals of the Constitution of India, and in that lofty ideal of the Constitution of India, there is a lofty ideal called fraternity. With the spirit of fraternity, whatsoever we do, we have to do it in a manner that it is good for everyone. Fraternity essentially means having a kind of brotherhood association with all human beings that might be there. So this constitutional framework, which again we are one such blessed generation of India who thankfully have a widely revered, widely cherished, widely accepted constitutional framework, and within that constitutional framework we are endeavoring to live our life to its fullest extent, and are also trying to create a better world for our fellow beings and for a better for the future generation. But mind you, we are those privileged ones. Go back 3 generations behind us. They had to struggle for around 150 years against an imperial power to get some bit of recognition. Some bit of recognition means the bit of recognition to be called a human being. Otherwise, before those imperial powers, our generation, 3 generations back, were not even recognized as the human being. So we are the ones, so such fortunate generations, and I am sure so many of the future generations will be, who will live with this cherished constitution to realize the great ideas that we are talking of. Now, so within the national framework, we have our Constitution of India. Similarly, other countries also have their own national framework. Constitution of UK, Constitution of USA, Constitution of Pakistan, hundreds, almost every country has. But are these autonomous countries with their own constitution adequate to make a better world, which is the title? The answer is, of course, no. Everybody working in isolation can do good to them, but it cannot be good for everybody in the world. We need something more than this, merely the respective constitution, respective nation states. And there comes what is called the issues relating to world order, the issues relating to international law, the issues relating to globalization, whether it is world order of one or other kind, whether it is international law of one or other kind, whether it is globalization of one or other kind. Ultimately, the better world that we are aspiring for, and not only we are aspiring for, almost everybody else like us in other parts of the world, they are aspiring for. There is one wonderful sloka which was again referred by Professor Wani sir. I am again reiterating that three word is a wonderful connotation of how togetherness in the world can lead us towards a better world. And thankfully that this is again quite unique to this part of the world from where we come, that this sloka was scripted maybe around 2000 years ago, which possibly gives the most expansive, most vibrant, and possibly most contemporary ideal of the brotherhood or sisterhood, whatsoever way you call, there or fraternity at the global level. And I would conclude my speech with that three-word sloka, Vasudha Kutumbakam. Let's aspire, put our human intelligence and the artificial intelligence towards creating a world which in letter and spirit creates a world which can be said to be a world where Vasudha Kutumbakam thrives. That is goodness and wellness of everybody, of every creature, not only human creature, but everybody does blossoms, does flourish, and that is what the world we are aspiring for. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening.
Had carved out something out of this whole world of AI to deliberate upon, and you all did successfully participate into it. And the thing is, you have to continue it, because future is AI, and you have to go with it. There are some, they said they are the best paper presenters. I think we should declare that.
Yes, sir.
So, one of the best presenters is who wrote on role of AI in identifying online grooming patterns. And the presenter is a PhD scholar in MIT University, Noida. And what is the name of the presenter? Akanksha Sharma. Is Akanksha there?
She has joined us online, sir.
Okay. Then another is who wrote on AI and Javanescence, evaluating the effectiveness of social media. PhD scholar for MVN University, Kalwal. And name is Sakshi Rivaria.
Rivaria, yes.
So these are the two, and I believe that they must be getting some kind of, what was the award for them?
Letter of appreciation.
So any manner whatsoever. Will we adopt this resolution?
Yes.
Yes, sir, yes.
Yes.
But they are silent, they don't want to.
It should continue for at least for 1 minute, because sir has.
And
put up a
second resolution is that within a period of 366 days or 367 days, the FIMT shall organize another conference on the same issue with some data and with some evaluation that how the legislative measures are improving in the world for the better use of artificial intelligence, and how measures are being taken to prevent the misuse of artificial intelligence, to Professor Dr.
Respected Shri B.K.N. Bhardwaj sir, Chairman FIMT Group of Institutions in absentia, Dr. Nalini Joshi, Executive Director, FIMT in absentia, Professor Dr. M. Afzal Wani, Advisor FIMT, Professor Dr. Anuj Kumar Vaksha, USLLS GGSIPU, Professor Dr. Saroj Vyas ma'am, Director FIMT, Professor Dr. Shivani ma'am, Director FIMT School of Law, our most valued dignitaries, participants, academicians, scholars, and dear students. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to present a vote of thanks to the two-day multidisciplinary international conference on integration of artificial intelligence and natural intelligence for creating a better world by Fairfield School of Law. I, on behalf of the entire FIMT family, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the dignitaries for gracing today's momentous occasion and blessing us through their presence. I must mention a deep sense of appreciation for Professor Dr. M. Afzal Wani sir for his invaluable insights and thought leadership. The idea and theme of the first international conference on the integration of artificial intelligence and natural intelligence for creating a better world was first conceived by none other than Wani sir. Thank you, sir, for unwavering support and guidance throughout the planning and execution of this conference. I want to convey my deep regards and thanks to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Anuj Kumar Vaksha, USLLS GGSIPU, for taking out time from his busy schedule and gracing the occasion by his thoughtful and inspiring words. A special thank you to Professor Mary Law Frank, Professor, University of Georgia, for sharing her expertise and inspiring discussions that have truly enriched our understanding of the intersection between AI and human intelligence. I'm also thankful to Ms. Bhavna Mahadew, University of Mauritius, whose contribution have added significant value to our conversation, bringing in diverse perspectives that broaden our horizons. Our heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Kushani De Silva, subject matter expert, CRDF Global and CEO, Gloir.K Srilanka, for addressing and also chairing the technical session 1 for her engaging discussions and deep insights. Each of you has played a vital role in making this conference a remarkable platform for knowledge exchange and collaboration. We are all inspired by your great words. I'm also thankful to the management and Director Saroj Vyas ma'am for their full-hearted support and guidance. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months ago, and it requires a lot of hard work, planning for such events. We've been fortunate enough to be led by our chief organizer and dedicated director, School of Law, Professor Dr. Shivani. Thank you, ma'am, for your unwavering commitment, meticulous planning, and guidance by which this conference became a platform for meaningful discussions, knowledge exchange, and global collaboration. Your hard work has truly made this event a great success. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record the hard work put in by the organizing team. Dr. Shivani Singh, Organizing Secretary and IQAC Coordinator, Ms. Tanusha Pithoria, Member Organizing Committee, Ms. Sweetie Singh, Member Organizing Committee, Ms. Pragya Katari, Member Organizing Committee, Ms. Swati Pandita, Technical Head, and all the faculty members of the Law Department for their immense support. Mr. Vikas and Mr. Shashikant Tiwari for ICT support, Ms. Parul Bhatia for capturing this event beautifully, students Sagar Pandey, student convener, Insha Fatima, student co-convener, Shivam, student technical head, students rapporteurs, anchors, and the entire team of 15 other hard-working students. And also not forget the hard work of the NCC and NSS students. Thanks to all of you for being with us today. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for that heartfelt vote of thanks. Your words truly reflect the combined gratitude we feel